Hey, hi guys. Just give me a second. I think we are live. Yes. Okay. Just give me a second. I just need to set up my device. Okay. Uh, okay. So, just give me a second. I hope my screen is visible to all of you. Let me check. Just give me a thumbs up if I'm audible or not. Oh, hi, sir. Hi, Vaibhav. Hi, Siddhartha. Hi, John. Good evening, everyone. I think we don't have enough of audience to start, so we'll wait for maybe next 5 minutes, then we'll start. Okay. Till then, just tell me if I think I have to share my entire screen. I was not sharing my entire screen because I have multiple things opened here and there, but I think I have to now. So before starting, I have a question for you all guys. Like, first of all, what are you guys doing? Like, if you're learning something, if you're in education right now, so if you're undergraduate or you're postgraduate, you're working somewhere, or you're just a student, right? So give me in the chat what are you doing and why you want to learn Canva. Basically, Canva is nothing but a basic tool where you can start learning creative design, basically design, and start creating creatives, graphic design, right? So but Canva is a lot, you can say, more than just creating a creative, because Canva have a lot of features, and if you go through that pura UI of Canva, you'll get to know what I'm talking. Okay. Before that, we had a heated discussion about something. Mm, golden and which color was that? White. Yes. So this is something funny. We had a discussion about like this particular dress in our team, and we posted something on our Instagram. If you don't follow us on Instagram, you can follow us on Instagram. The link is right below in the description. So just give me a, like, what color do you see in that dress? I see gold and white, but a lot of my team members are seeing that that this color is not white and gold. This is actually you can say blue and black, and now I'm super confused that what kind of a color is that, right? So before starting Canva, we can do a small activity. We have 50 students right now, attendance as certificate. Yes, we will again start with that. I'm just waiting to get more and more students so we can start that, right? Okay, I think you're not able to see. Okay, this is the screen. Just give me a, like, what colors do you see? Because I see gold and white. A lot of you might see blue and black. And first, you can say, you can just say that color combination what we use in creative design is very important. But right now we have a kind of question which is unanswerable, because I have seen many people in front of me saying that this is a black and blue color. In my eyes, I am seeing a gold and white color, and we are super confused that why it is happening in the first place, why two different people are seeing two different colors. So just give me a small, like, just tell me what color do you see. I see blue and black. I see black and blue, guys. Okay, I have few partners right now, Priyanka and Astha and Shivprakash. We guys see white and gold, so I think my eyes are completely okay. I was in doubt actually because a lot of you guys are saying blue and black, and now I feel that I am just scared if I'm colorblind or what. ठीक I'm graduate and a freelancer. Nice, yeah. Doing freelancing is something you can say excites me, but I can't do that because I have been doing freelancing for last 2 years and I stopped that because in freelancing I feel like this is my opinion. You might be earning a lot of money in freelancing, but I used to get like a month where I'll earn a lot of money, but a month where I'll not earn a single rupee. So that's why I left freelancing and I'm doing a full time job right now. So this is a insight which you don't have to care about. Okay, I'm just trying to understand you all. 53. Why do we have only 53 people watching live? Guys, can you just do me one favor? Call out your friends who want to learn Canva and tell them we are doing a live session for free where you can get a certificate. So if you want to learn Canva, you can join that right now. Light blue and golden. Wow, guys. Now again, I am in a bit of confusion if my eyes are right or not. If I can see everything properly. Okay, okay. So we can't wait anymore. We have to start. So I'll give you a brief about how you can get your certificate, what you have to do on Let's Upgrade as a platform to get that certificate, right? So, bhai, what we'll be learning today? Okay, Ashish, not a lot of things, but we'll start with Canva basics because like if you get your roots right you can get a tight grip on your grounds, right? So before starting to learn about a lot of advanced things, we will start learning about how you can create an artboard with different sizes. Maybe how you can create an artboard is nothing but a creative size, you can say. So we'll start with how you can create a Instagram story artboard, how you can create a landscape artboard, what are the sizes which matters a lot, right? So how can I get certificate? Sure. So we'll start with how you can get certificate. Just give me a second. I'll drink water. Just a second. So guys, basically I'm not the trainer. I know Canva very well. I have been designing in Canva or Photoshop for I think the last 4 years, but I'm not going to teach you. Twinkle will be teaching you. Maybe we'll start in max you can say 5 minutes more, right? So let me I think my screen is shared. This is the Canva, you can say, web page or a page where you have to enroll. If you're not enrolled, if you're watching us directly from YouTube, you have to go here where you can find this link. You can find this program link right below your YouTube screen. In description here you will see a link to register, to mark your attendance, to give assignments if you have any, to earn eloquence, and basically to get a certificate at the end of the day, right? So these all links are just one link. You just have to click here, then it will be redirected to a my program page where you can find everything at one place, right? So I don't know why it's not working. Just give maybe a glitch. Okay. Okay, there is an error. I think, I hope that our website is live. Okay, I'm just getting an error. Give me a second, guys. I'm really sorry. I hope our website is up and running. Okay, now I can go in my programs. Okay, we are really sorry we are not able to explain you the entire platform because I don't think our website is live. We have to raise a concern to our tech team, so they'll solve it. So basically, like without a website, I can explain you what you have to do. If the website is not working, chill out. Just wait for a few minutes. Our tech team is super awesome. They'll sort it out in maybe max, you can say 10-15 minutes. So you'll see a website up and running after that. What you have to do is just you have to go here, you have to enroll. If you're not enrolled, you'll get a pop-up to say, which is saying that you have to enroll first before accessing the my program panel. So if you're not enrolled, click on that enroll now button. Then after that, what you have to do, you just have to go there, watch all the 3 days pura live may have. If you want to watch recordings, you can watch that too. You have to mark your attendance. We have a progress bar where you'll get you can say percentage of points after attending each day. So basically, if you attend today's class and if you mark your attendance, you'll get 33% of progress. So for 3 days you have to mark your attendance, and after that, after completing your third day, just make sure you like remember this, that your certificate generation will start after completing the third day of our class. Okay. So after that, you can download the certificate and you can share it on LinkedIn, tagging us. We will like obviously we'll repost that. So you can do that as well, right? So let me check if our website is up or not. I don't think it is running. Okay. So after, maybe after like at the time of ending the session, I'll meet you guys again and I'll try to explain you the portal, right? I've been seeing the past hour. Okay, Coast, we will try to resolve that. I don't think that tech team is aware about the condition of our website. Okay. But after that, it shows that our Canva. Do we have to install? Divya, Canva. You can use Canva like on web, or you can have a mobile app, or you can have a desktop app. So these are the options. You can just go on Chrome and type Canva, and you will be able to access Canva. You don't have to necessarily install any application or software. So I'll onboard our trainer for today. Let me stop sharing my screen. Twinkle is going to teach you Canva. Hi, Twinkle. Am I audible?
Hey Sandesh, yes, you are.
Yeah. So we had a bit of problem with our website. So I'm basically not able to explain them the portal. Maybe I'll join at the end of the session and I'll explain them what all they have to do to get that certificate. Right. So Twinkle will be taking care of your like learnings and all the things, taking care of your all of your doubts, and if you have any queries, you can directly ask our trainer in the chat box. You'll get a response. If you are not getting a response, just wait, because a lot of times what happens is that chat is you can see the chat, but it is a bit of delay from YouTube side. So just wait. Don't spam anything, because if you spam, then you'll get banned automatically. We don't do it manually. We don't have any like control on that. You just will get banned if you spam anything, right? So I'll take leave. Bye, Twinkle. Bye, everyone. Maybe I'll join at the end of the session. Then I'll explain you again the portal and all the things, right?
Okay, thank you. Hi everyone, welcome to our session. Today we will be learning about Canva and a bit about graphic design and all things that are required, all the skill set that you need to navigate basically the product Canva, and how to get the desired output out of it, be it in the form of poster, graphic design, simple maybe typography, maybe in a form of presentation or video. So all of that will be covered in today's session. I'm gonna quickly address a couple of queries that I saw in the chat. So I think, as Sandesh mentioned, you can use the Canva product on web, or you can download the application. It works pretty much the same. Apart from this, right, what all things are we going to be covering today? So guys, I would urge you to go into the description of the YouTube, the video that we uploaded, that you're watching right now. In the comment section over here in the description, you can see the full link in which we have divided the 3 days boot camp, and you can kind of go through what all will be covered. Basically, we are gonna give you a rundown of how to navigate through Canva and create a variety of designs. Right. Yes, including PPT and your CVs, even websites, flyers, banners, anything and everything design related. Canva is a very versatile tool. It allows us to kind of navigate through all the design verticals. Uh, yes, today, for starters, we will be using the free version. and I will give you a rundown of what all features does a pro module have. But yes, today we will be operating on the free version. Any other questions, guys? Okay, I think agenda, please. Yes, guys, as I am talking again, I will urge you to go to the description. And basically, what we are trying to do over here is get you a basic understanding of Canva and some design principles. All right, I think we can get started with today's session. I would want you guys to be super interactive in this session. And okay, so the links are not working. I understand that we are facing some technical difficulties. And okay, we can move past that. We can just have a conversation here. Okay. Right. So I want you guys to tell me if you've used Canva before, and please be active in the chat. I don't want this to be a one-way street where I'm just talking at you guys. I want you guys to be responsive to this. How many of you have used Canva before? Great, great. And what all have you created on Canva? Yes, with my teammates for making posters. Not much, but have used for basic stuff. Okay. I've used it a lot for banner and design purposes, but I can't make it more appealing and look tempting. Okay. Okay. Just the basic setup for education related posts. Okay. Wedding poster, pre-wedding videos. Got it. Got it. Presentation, poster, certificates. Okay. Greetings. Society work, thumbnails, cover pages, resumes. Okay. Okay. Got it. Got it. Using it for my Shopify store. Great. Insta stories, of course. Great. Great. Okay, it's very nice to see that so many of you are familiar what the product does, and it is always good to hit the ground running, have a head start on things. Product designer, that's interesting. Great. Okay, okay. So we're gonna start the session by talking a little bit about design and why was there a need for Canva. Uh, so, because we have so many products in today's universe that are catering to different varieties of designs, there is a specific market for products that are catering to motion design, for video editing, for UI UX design, for image editing. There's Figma, the whole Adobe suite, and a lot many. Um, but these are the type of tools that offer so much information in one go. For example, if you recall the interface of Photoshop, if you've ever used it, let me just share my screen. I hope my screen is visible. So if I search for Photoshop interface, I mean, there are just so many options over here that a new user or somebody who is not really a designer per se can feel a little overwhelmed, right? I mean, I have been a designer for 8.5 years and I still don't know what most of these features do. I still, even today, have to hover on them to kind of understand that, oh, these features are doing this, and this is another feature that they've clubbed into any particular icon. For example, if you see this icon, this is not the only grouping of features that they have. There is so much more that is happening on the top nav, on the right nav, left nav. There is just too much information. And yeah, if I go to Premiere Pro, this product has given me such a headache over the years. I have tried to uh, create a couple of videos, and it has just been a massive struggle managing through all of these features, understanding what dependency can create what havoc on my design. It is just amazing to even be able to comprehend all of this. And hats off to the people who are working on these products every day and making a living off of it. It's great, but let's look at Canva for a second. So this is Canva. This is what it does. I mean, this is the space that it occupies. This is the information it has. It is just so clean, so minimal. I mean, it is a brilliant innovation to create something so user friendly that you don't really need to be a designer or somebody who is familiar with what design is or how to approach it. It is just so easy and so intuitive to use that it kind of understands what your need is and give you suggestions based on that. I mean, yeah. Okay. So, right. We will now talk about design and how Canva was originated. So, if I talk about Canva's founder, Melanie Perkins, she is the person, the brain behind the software that we see in front of us today. Uh, so she was a marketing executive who wanted to try design but could not because she had limitations when it came to actually learning the design tool. So, what basically drove her to create Canva was her own limitations, that she was struggling delegating the work to the designer and getting it approved, or the whole cycle of creating the design, getting it approved. Then there is content, then there is the business angle to it. All of that was happening. And she just found it a little too cumbersome for comfort. And that is when she thought of creating a portal software that is so easy to use that anybody can use it. You don't need to have any design information or expertise in that particular field. So that is the origin story. The necessity is the mother of inventions. That is very rightly said. So that is how we got Canva. And yeah, that was, I think, roughly 15 years ago. I'm hoping I'm not wrong. Okay, so what is Canva? Canva is an online tool, and of course, it's a web-based application that we are using, and they have multiple variants of it. It basically, in a nutshell, allows you to create incredible designs without getting into too much of the complexity part of it. Uh, okay, so guys, attendance link is not working. We have acknowledged that, and we are working on fixing some bug that we found in the website. So please bear with us for a little while. I think Sandesh will come back and let you guys kind of he will give you a walkthrough of how to go about marking your attendance. All right. Yeah. So coming back to Canva, we have established that you can create all sorts of designs and all sorts of incredibly cool designs on Canva, and you don't really need to be an expert or a graphic designer in order to do that. And hopefully, by the end of these 3-day sessions, you can call yourself a graphic designer. All right, let's get started on designs. So we've established that what are the use cases for Canva. We can use it for social media content, for presentations, infographics, blog covers, videos, whatever that you can think of. But how do you go about designing all of that? I mean, is it really that simple to start creating designs? I mean, it is, but at the same time, it does not hurt to have some added information around it to kind of understand what you're making and how you're making it. So, okay, I have shared my screen. So, we're gonna discuss a couple of design principles today before we move on to Canva. So, when we Google design principles for graphic design, we get all of this and again so much more because it's Google. It's gonna give you loads of information that may or may not even be relevant for your search. But anyways, these are the design principles. I would urge you guys to kind of go through them at your own time, all of them, just to have an idea of what means what and how can you implement all of this in your design. And again, guys, I cannot focus on this enough that me telling you all of this, it does not mean that you have to incorporate all of this information in each and every one of your design. I mean, it depends from design to design that what principle should be applied there. For example, if we talk about contrast, if I'm creating a poster which only has one background color and maybe a white background color with a dark typography on top of it, then that is following contrast. And maybe if I just have that one line of text which is broken down in 2 lines, maybe we have how do you use Canva, and it is all written in the same font, then maybe it's not following hierarchy, and that's okay. But at the same time, whenever we are working around multiple components in a design, it is important to have a basic working understanding of what these design principles are. Right, I'm gonna head to the chat very quickly to understand, to see if you guys have any questions for this. Uh, okay, okay. Mm. Right, okay, it's more attendance related. Right, guys, we're working on that. Thank you for your patience. We are gonna move to talking about the design principles in depth. For example, number one is emphasis. So, what does this mean? How do I create emphasis in any particular design that I'm making? So, when you guys look at this design, your eye immediately goes to this particular product over here because it looks like it is not supposed to be in this image, right? It does not look like that it belongs in a jungle, or it looks a little out of place. So it has been created in such a way so that it does look out of place, so that we can establish that the user will have to immediately focus on this. This product's natural habitat is not this background, which is why they came up with this idea of putting it in a context where it does not belong, right? So this is how they are kind of focusing on the message. They are trying to get your attention on this particular product. This is how you create emphasis. For example, if we see in the 3 circles at the bottom left of this creative, we can see that our eye, of course, goes automatically to the biggest shape. So there are a lot of ways to create emphasis around the design that you are making. putting some element which is out of context is one way to approach it. Another way is to increase the size around it or of that element. So again, there are just so many variations through which you can create a design, and it is very, very important to have some context to what you are making. I mean, I understand that it is very simple to kind of just create a couple of shapes and call it a design, but it has to mean something. The biggest challenge that I have faced over the years as a working professional in the field of design is having to defend the design that I've made. So, because again, design is subjective. So, whatever I make might not be well liked by somebody else. Or if I have to take a poll, it might come back 50-50 or 70-30. I mean, there is no really, a fixed statistic that can help me achieve a desired satisfaction around the design that I'm making. But in order to appeal to the masses, we have to follow some principles and see what clicks with the target audience that we are making it for. If you are creating a CV, it has to be focused on the information that you're putting rather than the aesthetics around it. But in a different case, if you are creating a social media poster for Instagram, then you cannot keep it very minimal. I mean, unless that is the brand guideline that you are catering to. But at the same time, it has to catch the user's attention. And in order to actually publish it, if you're working in a company, then you have to be able to defend your design. So, how do you do that? Again, by using the design principles, right? So, that is about emphasis. Then we talk about contrast. So in this image, of course, my primary focus is the image that has been used. This person with a Greek god's face. This is the sole point of information that I'm receiving in the first go. But right after that, I can see that Adidas is written in a very bold and dark font. So, why is it so clearly visible? Because it has been put on top of a background that is complementing it so much, right? So, how to create contrast in your design? You can play around with the colors, you can definitely play around with the sizes, you can play around with your artwork. For example, it has been placed over the image has been placed over the text, but because I have a sense of familiarity with the logo of Adidas, I kind of understand that this is what it's saying, even though the A and the D looks pretty much the same. But again, their brand has created that awareness so that I understand that this is what this post is for, right? And they have been able to achieve this, one, through their brand identity, and two, through contrast. It is very impactful and the message is getting across. Now, moving on to white space. So, white space is something that people have been advocating for about over for as long as I can remember. But people call it lazy design. That you do not really put a lot of effort into creating something, and you just left the whole space empty. I mean, white space or negative space is not really that. It is so much more. It is giving the space to your design to be able to breathe, so that it is kind of filtering out all the noise that is around, that is usually around any creative, so that my eyes go directly to this section, and after that I kind of understand that this is TEDx and something after it. So this kind of makes it more impactful than the noise that I see over here. Again, this is subjective. This creative might be working very nicely for a target audience of maybe Instagram, focused on maybe millennials. And this might be more suited for a LinkedIn post for a company that is trying to create awareness about maybe some new TED talk, or just launching a new feature or something. right? So, okay, I'm gonna head to the chat once more to kind of understand. Uh, okay. Do you guys have any questions for the three principles we've just covered? Please feel free to drop in your queries from time to time. It will be great if we can make the session a little more interactive. Okay. Okay, great. Right, so this was about emphasis, contrast, and white space. Now we talk about movement. So, movement is nothing but guiding the user's eye through the elements that we put in our design. For example, I went on to FreePick and I just randomly typed timeline view infographics, and this is one of the results that it got me. So now, as you can see, it is, I don't even need to understand that this started from 2002 and has gone to 2020. The shape itself is driving my eye to a particular motion, which is making me understand that this is the way of the progress. It's not supposed to be the opposite way, but this is the way it is designed to be. I don't even need to look at the numbers. The shape, the progress bar that they've created is kind of guiding my eye for them. At the same time, if we talk about this tiny little circles that we see, it is creating a shape subliminally that my conscious brain has not been able to comprehend. I just understand that this is the way it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be going in this direction. It is supposed to be going onwards and upwards, right? So, using elements around these principles not only works on a very visual, very clear level, it also helps the user understand the design at a deeper level, right? Great. Now we talk about patterns. So, what are patterns and how does a repeat element kind of, uh, create or help a design? So patterns are nothing but a supporting element to the core design. I mean, unless it's packaging design, in that case, it is very important to have a cover or a design that kind of, makes it look like the design is coming alive or the product inside it is very enticing. But at the same time, what are patterns? Pattern is just a repetition of one element or a couple of it. But at the same time, it has to be repeated, and it has to be repeated in a uh, not symmetrical, but in a regular manner. For example, if I understand that there are two peaches over here, and like maybe there is an alternate peach and a half cut peach in between these two, so that is what I'm seeing here. For it to actually be a symmetrical pattern, this has to be repeated. It cannot be haphazard, or it will kind of break my flow of it. So when we talk about patterns, they are trying to create a sense of familiarity in the design that I'm trying to make. For example, if you see the cover of a Pepsi bottle, they have, as much as I can recall, they have a blue banner that is going on continuously through and through, right? And then they have some information on top of it. But what if there was half of it was red, half of it was blue? That might not really be creating a sense of familiarity in the entire design. Maybe they have some sort of elements in order to kind of support what they've created, but that is not really, a very cohesive design. But because it's a complete blue ring, I'm assuming that there are a couple of rings on top of it, maybe a hint of red or white. But again, so creating patterns is to kind of bind the design together, creating one shape that is recurring from time to time in order to create harmony in whatever design that you're making, right? Now let's talk about proportions. So I think when we talk about proportions, we might want to take a step back to a couple of years ago when we were kids and used to be forced to draw pictures in our art classes. So I think it has been a common, not a problem, but just a quirk with all the kids who have been drawing, is that whenever they were asked to create a table or a chair, the table would always be a smaller entity as compared to a chair. So, I mean, that is something that was okay when we were kids, or, when we were young. But when we talk about creating some design at the age that we are right now, it is very important to take proportion in factor. For example, if we look at this cluster of images or vectors, I have to kind of question that how is a paintbrush kind of one-fourth of an entire bus? I mean, this does not seem right, right? So when we are creating designs, or when we are creating an illustration, it is very important to keep all of these things in mind, because this does not seem realistic. I have to, keep all of this in mind, that the assets, that the components that I'm using in my design have to follow the right scale, have to follow the right proportions. So, in order to make my design look more professional, right? Okay, so this was that. Now let's talk about symmetry and asymmetry. So when we talk about symmetry, what does it mean? Symmetry is, so they're both kind of a part of balance. So when we talk about balance, I mean balance or imbalance. There are two aspects, and when we look at the design on the left, we can kind of understand that this design looks very well managed, that it is equally marginalized on all the sides. There is text on both sides. There is something in the center. I have my image. The color is, even though the gradient is leaning a little towards the bottom left on the yellow side, but at the same time, I don't really mind it because the overwhelming shape in the back, the circle, is making it seem minimal, that the color has changed over here. Why? Because this image is giving me a sense of balance in this design. It is making me feel like I can ignore all the minor things that are off balance in this design. The color, there is a navigation over here it isn't. And but it's okay. I don't really mind it because of the overwhelming shape, right? But at the same time, when we talk about asymmetry or imbalance in design, so this side, the right side of the design, is a little heavier than the left side. Is it supposed to be that way? Yes. Because through the image, they are trying to make a statement. I'm not really sure what it is, but because they've kept the design so heavy on the right, my eye now automatically goes to the text on the left. I'm sorry, this has been overlapped with the tag that I put. But I'm assuming that they had written something around minimalist, which is again the approach of the design. They've kept it so heavy on the right that they are kind of driving my eye to be able to read some information. So again, this is also working. This is also sending the message across, right? Okay. Now we kind of come to the last leg for this design research part, which is alignment. So basically, as I had mentioned before, that when we talk about creating a CV or a resume for any professional, we understand that it has to be left aligned, because that is the reading shape that our eye follows. It is either F or it is Z, right? So these are the two most popular eye movements when we talk about reading content on any particular website or a digital poster or a print poster. All of that information is absorbed in these formats, right? So, to cater to that eye movement, we have to keep all of the information left aligned, right? And because for a resume, it is supposed to be driven by the information that we are putting there. It is very important to keep it left aligned and keeping it minimal. But at the same time, when we talk about creating a graphic for social media or even a website banner, there are no rules. I mean, I understand that what we're talking about right now is rules. But what these rules kind of imply is that you need to be able to create a design that is one, readable. It is not too crowded, or even if it is too crowded, there has to be a way to create sense out of it. For example, if we talk about crowded designs, this does seem a little crowded, but at the same time, because they've used the contrast principle, they were easily able to identify what brand does this belong to, right? This might also look a little crowded because there are a lot of elements. There is a button, there is a product, there is a tagline, and two logos. And I'm sure there was something at the bottom left too. But what they did was they kind of blurred the background a little bit, and in the foreground, they put a product which was not supposed to be there, right? So even in chaos, there has to be some sense as to what you're making. For example, if there is an L behind this alignment. So when we talk about random alignments, so this kind of does not really follow any of the principles that the left design is following. But at the same time, I can understand that this is break the layout, right? How is that? Because they've taken a minimalistic approach and they've kind of played with the contrast. The element, the colorful element that is passing through my design is very different with regards to color to my text. So I'm very easily able to understand that what is the messaging that they're trying to send across, right? So, all right, these are a couple of principles that we kind of need to uh, pay attention to. And so, guys, just look up design principles for graphic designing, and or principles for graphic designing, and you will get a list. And I would urge you to kind of watch a very short video around all of this to get better understanding of how to use what. Right. Okay, I'm gonna head to the chat again. Okay. Right. Explain the alignment part where you mentioned the FNZ. What does that mean? Okay, so when we talk about the alignment, basically it's not really about alignment. It's about the observing the reader's eye movement. For example, if we go on to the page that you're on right now, I mean, you understand that the most important content on this page will either be on the dead center or it will be on the top left, because that is where your eye moves. This is the shape, this is the movement that your eye will be taking. Whenever we are on a website, we go to the top side because that is where the primary content is, and from that place onwards we kind of navigate to the rest of the site, and this is the movement that we are making, right? So and with regards to the Z format, I think that's mostly followed for blogs. But then again, all of this, can be implemented in all form of designs. Okay, guys, just very quickly before we wrap up this section, any questions around this? Okay, I'm assuming that there are no other questions for this. Right. Okay. Now let's move on to color psychology. So, guys, all of these information is very important for you to know, for you to be aware of before we jump on to learning Canva and understanding, why we are creating a design in such a way. I mean, these are the stepping stones, the primary pillars that will help you in creating designs that you are proud of. So, color psychology. Uh, okay. Uh, Give me a couple of words that you think of when you think about the color black. How does black color make you feel? Guys, I would uh, urge you to start commenting in the chat. How does the color black make you feel? Is there any emotion that is attached to it? Is there any vibe that is attached to it? Elegant, dark, classic, an escape, classy. Great. I love using mobile in dark mode. Bold. Okay. Okay. Great. Attractive. Okay. Not one of you have mentioned anything about it being a threat or, right, mysterious. Yes. So because more and more websites have been kind of shifting, not just websites, the design trend in general has shifted a little towards black because it is in trend, because they've done so much with the white, right? So there is a chance to, there's a scope basically to switch over to use another color as primary, right? Thread was more like red. Yes, so red and black, both colors are associated with mystery, with undecisiveness, and just an intense vibe basically. Right. Black gives pretty much vibe as minimalist, perhaps. Right. So black paired with another secondary color gives creates a minimalistic vibe. Yes, but at the same time, we have to be cautious of not to overdo it. So okay. Okay, let's just quickly walk through what color psychology is. Basically, color psychology is what color is associated to a feeling that it. So basically, if any brand is using a color for their products, for their campaigns, for their identity, they have to be resonating with a feeling that that color is associating. For example, without looking up, can you guys quickly tell me what is the brand color for Archie's? Archie's color, guys, quickly, can you just drop a comment? Does nobody know? What is the brand color for Archie's? Guys, it would be great if you can just keep on uh, responding. Yes, the color, the brand color for Archie's is uh, Archie's, Archies, Archies, the gift. business, the gifting business? Red, yes, it is red. And but it's not really a very bright red. It's a mix between red and pink. So as you can see on the color wheel, that it resonates with love, and of course, as we know, that a lot of gifting portals, and the whole Valentine's decorum is defined by the color red, because that is a color that is associated with love, right? Not blood red, but a hint of red, which is mixed a little bit with pink. Right. So again, when we talk about the color red, it is primarily associated with anger, danger, and alarm. Right. But it's also a bold color. And at the same time, this color is also resonated with love. So that is quite a tricky place to be in. I mean, if you are trying to create a brand around red, so it is important to not use too much of this color, because as lovely as this color is, it does give the impression of a threat or something that might anger you if it is used too much, right? For example, if I have this paper in my hand, and all of this content is written in white but on a red background, it might be a little difficult for me to read all of that on such a small scale, right? And the color, the paper itself will feel a little overwhelming. So we don't want to do that, right? Okay, moving on to another warm color, which is orange. Now, what does orange make you feel like? It represents enthusiasm, it is fresh, and it kind of generates warmth. Right. So, orange is supposed to be one of the warm colors that is safer to use. And guys, at the same time, I mean, it will be great to kind of understand complementary colors. So, for example, if you can see that orange is on the opposite side to blue. So, these colors are designed in the way, this color wheel is designed in a way that it is safe to use these colors together. They go hand in hand, they complement each other, they have a very great and very high contrast ratio. So these colors are supposed to be, used together if you are going for a multi-color palette. But at the same time, I mean, I would not vouch for red and cyan, because again, I don't really see this working out. Maybe a different shade of blue. So that is something that you can, maybe on the color wheel itself, you can just kind of try a different combination of contrast, hue, saturation, something like that. Right. Okay. Coming back to orange, we are resonating it with the fresh and warmth. Right. Guys, can you just quickly write down one brand that you can think of that represents at least three colors on this wheel? We have red, orange, yellow, green, cyan, blue, purple, and pink. So, can you guys just quickly mention three brands? They can be of the same color, they can be of three different colors. That's your call. While I talk more about color psychology. Uh, Okay. Another warm tone is yellow, but it is energetic. It is also overwhelming. It is again fresh, but this is the sort of color that has been known to kind of create a sense of anxiety in the people who are looking at the color. If it is again used in a very high quantity or at a large scale, so this is one of the reasons that a lot of products or designs that are catering to mental health refrain from using the color yellow, because that is an emotion that is associated with this color, right? But at the same time, when we talk about a combination of red, orange, yellow, it is used with it is very popular in food industry, because if we recall the colors for McDonald's or Burger King, they are primarily using these three set of colors, very warm tones, because of the condiments that are found in the kitchen, right? So it is making you think of food just by looking at the logo of the company, right? Okay, moving on to a sort of a neutral color between warm and cool tone is green. Now, green is one of the most safe colors that we can use when we want to create a brand identity or just any design. But what does it represent? It denotes growth, envy, fertility, success, organic, natural, of course, all of these things. So, if you have noticed, a lot of healthcare applications, products, or designs, and mostly banks are using a combination of green and maybe a bit of blue. So after the 2008 crisis, the recession, people had lost faith in the banks, and that is when they started to realize that they need to rebrand themselves. They need to reposition their identity in the market, and that is when most of them kind of started switching to a green color, a tone that kind of subliminally helps the end user feel more comfortable. They are putting us, in a comfort zone just by changing their identity, right? Okay, we talk about cyan. It is self-expression, renewal, cleanliness, productive, clarity, right? So a shade of cyan and blue is has been seen in trend a lot for the past 5 years, I'm assuming. And why is that? I mean, this is, it's not really like nobody has really redefined the color wheel, right? People are just trying to experience a new way to express themselves. And I think that is where they are, going for a color that is not really traditional, but at the same time, it does look a little fresh, a little new. So again, cyan. And if we talk about blue, again, I think blue is the most favored color in the entire universe. And a lot of tech companies, manufacturing companies, or even some, mainly it is being used by tech and investment firms. And yeah, so I think the color says all for itself. It represents stability. Of course, blue is also identified with the sadness, depression, feeling blue. But again, that is, where the design part comes in, that you position your color, that you use the color in such a way that it does not make you feel, any particular way, especially if it's a negative emotion. Uh, okay, then we talk about purple. So, purple has seen such a massive jump in the usage in the past few years, and this color is mainly used in industries for service-based industries, for example, hotel management. And so, why is it so? Because of the primary factor, which is comfort and sophistication. So and of course it does create a sense of calmness and sincerity. So when we talk about the color purple, I mean, my mind automatically kind of jumps to uh, a silky soft touch, right? And it does feel like an elite color in itself. So the brands that are associated with this color are trying to subliminally make you feel like a royalty. I was reading an article, and that is the word that they had used. That whenever you are seeing the color purple being used, you have to understand that the brand is trying to make you feel a certain way. They are trying to make you feel like royalty, like you deserve this level of comfort. And that is the core messaging behind using this color. And coming back to the color pink, we, of course, we understand that it has been resonated with the by being a little feminine of the colors. But at the same time, I mean, it does denote compassion. it is a very vibrant color, and of course it denotes romance and love. All of that is there. And but at the same time, these are the emotions that are associated with the colors. And then we talk about how to use what color where. So I think that is the biggest question that anybody could have. So in order to uh, deal with that, or be able to kind of create a color palette for any of the design that you're working on. See, it is very important to understand how much of a color can you use in a design before you start to bombard just like information in that design. So colors that should not be used on a very large scale are maybe pink and yellow and even cyan. So these are the colors that can be overwhelming very quickly. And colors like blue, purple, and of course not red, maybe orange and green. These are some safe colors that people would not mind seeing too much of. So again, you guys can conduct your own research around this, but this is what is out there. And whenever we see a design, for example, if you see the homepage of Blinkit app, so as soon as you open the application, you see that they have a splash screen with a shade of yellow orange something in the middle, and then the screen goes away very quickly, right, as splash screens usually do. But then their layout is mainly driven by images, right? They're not using too much of their brand color in the whole screen, apart from here and there maybe some button or some primary text that they want you to see. All of that is there. Even a brand as big as Blinken kind of understands that although their primary color is representing energy, it also can be very overwhelming. So, limiting your usage of the color that you've chosen is also very important to understand, apart from understanding the psychology of colors. Right? Okay, I'm gonna quickly head onto the chat and see. Oh God, there's a lot of comments. Great, guys. Right, let's see. Google, Instagram. Okay, okay. British Council, Mama Earth. Great, great, great. Uh, okay, okay. Great, guys, great. This is lovely. Now let's move on to this platform that I really, really like. It helps me generate color palettes. So that is what we are gonna do today. We are gonna randomly generate a color palette, and the design that we make in Canva is gonna be based on these colors, right? So this is a bold step that I am taking today. I'm not really sure if I'm gonna like the colors I end up with. And okay, I need to uh, wait, I think it's gonna just randomly generate color palettes. Okay, I'm holding down the space bar. The site is called Schoolers, COOLORS.co, and I'm gonna just stop at any point, and that is the palette that I'm gonna be stuck with. Oh, oh, this is not a good palette. Okay, okay. All right, we will have to make this work, I guess. Uh, okay, all right. This is gonna be fun. Right. So, all right, we talked about color psychology. Now, the last leg for the discussion before we move on to Canva is typography. So there are three styles that kind of cover all the fonts, all the families that belong to all the design styles that the fonts usually follow. There is serif, there is sans serif, and then there are decorative fonts. So, what is the difference between these three types? So, when we look at a serif font, I mean, we can see very clearly that it has some extra designs at the bottom, at the corners of it, right? I mean, these are maybe designer elements or these are just extensions. But this is the font style that has been in circulation for as long as we can, map the language back to. And this is kind of a little outdated font style, because of course everything is moving digital in today's date. So this is the font style that people lean more towards, sans serif. And serif has kind of become a supporter of this. It has kind of taken a backseat when ever since sans serif came into the picture, especially after the evolution of technology for the past 10-15 years. Right. So, what is the difference between these two? Serif is the decoration, the extra arms and legs to any font. Sans serif is without any decoration, any designer element around it. Right. This kind of font was being used primarily for print media back in the olden days, and for all digital media designs, people prefer sans serif. Why? Because uh, of course the added arms and legs, the decorative elements to it, and because the font size is supposed to be smaller, because the devices are smaller, it becomes a little difficult to understand what the letters, the characters kind of start blending into each other, right? So, in order to give some breathable space in the design that you're making, people have started to prefer sans serif fonts, right? And of course, then there are fonts like decorative. I don't want to go in detail, but these are not the type of fonts that we primarily use. That these are not the fonts that drive the design that I make. I would never use this font as my primary messaging font. It's not even gonna be in my brand guidelines. Maybe as a helper, for example, if I am talking about this particular section, if I've written typography over here, maybe in a very mild color, I can just have this font to kind of help the user get the message of what typography is trying to say, right? It's not gonna be the font that drives my creative, right? I hope this is clear. uh, Heading over to the comment section one last time before we move on to Canva. I hope this is clear. Great. Okay. All right. I think we can switch to Canva now. Yes. So this was the primary web page for Canva. I clicked on sign up. I am joining the portal with a new account, a free account. So basically, it's gonna ask me what will you be using Canva for, and I'm gonna just mark. It doesn't matter, if you maybe select a wrong answer. I mean, it does not really make sense, but it's good to choose your identity accurately. For example, a lot of portals conduct A/B testing. What is A/B testing? A/B testing is testing a feature or a design with two groups to see how they are both responding to it. For example, if we talk about Amazon, uh, the homepage of Amazon has a lot of cards in it. There is, like, the cards that are your recent purchases, then maybe some recommendations or some browsing products that you did not really add to the cart, but you were checking them out. So if you see, you can compare your browser with somebody else's in your family or in your friend circle. You will see that there are slight variations. The box that you're seeing on the right, the square box, might be on the bottom left side on somebody else's laptop or mobile, because they keep on changing the layout to see which layout are you responding more to. That is A/B testing. So similarly, the more accurate information you give to any particular software about yourself, as comfortable as you are about sharing that information, it gives them better understanding of how you operate, and if they want to have your opinion over a new feature or something. So again, it's just something to think about. And no, I do not want to upgrade to Canva Pro right now. So this is Canva. So I am in, I have just created an account, and okay, there's a lot of information, but at the same time, it's not as bad as Photoshop or Illustrator or Premiere Pro. I'm not trying to throw shade on any of those applications or softwares, but at the same time, this kind of makes me feel like, I am in control of what I need to do over here. Another thing that Canva does is that it uses a lot of negative space. It has given me a very breathable navigation on the left, on the right. So this is something that I really appreciate about the portal. Right. Okay. Let's jump into what Canva does. We are going to explore the portal for a couple of minutes, and then we can get started on creating a design with the color palette that we have unfortunately uh, come up with. Okay. So I click on the kebab menu. My left navigation has collapsed, right? I am going to click on it again because I need this. Clicking on Canva redirects me to the home page no matter where I am. Same navigation as is in most of the sites. Then I have my design spotlight. So these are basically quick links to any sort of design that I want to make. If I want to work on a visual document, I want to create presentations, graphs, and charts, etc. I have some options to work on photos and videos. I can open up the video editor, photo collage, background remover, and then I have some options for print media. I can create business cards, invitations, mugs, and so much more, along with a couple of marketing angles, logos, posters, flyers, brochures, and again, so much. And of course, the QR code generator. I mean, it's like just, it does not really have a lot to do with design, but again, it's a good to have feature. I don't have to go on Google to kind of, feed my website link to create a QR code. It has this feature in itself, so which is again a very good thing. Then apart from this, they have an option to browse Canva templates and Magic Studios. So guys, basically Canva is your one-stop shop when it comes to all things design, right? But it's a tool that is not only giving you the space to create your own designs, they have just so many templates that you can take inspiration from, that you can use as your base when you are trying to create a design, or you can just directly use that template, change the content or the imagery if you want to, and just start shipping it out. I mean, that is the core agenda of the portal, is that you don't need to be a designer to work on this. All of that work has been done for you, and for a free member, there is just so many design variations that if you don't feel like it, you don't really need to convert to a pro member. But again, they have come up with a lot of enticing features in the pro module, so we're gonna get to that later on. uh, okay. Then there is Canva for business. So I think this is something that we can skip for now. Education, again, all of this is pretty much doing the same thing, but for a specific use case. Plan and pricing, we can understand what all is included in the free plan, what all is included in the pro or not for profit, or just so on. All of this, I think, is mainly reading material. Then from here, I can kind of download the Canva application. And if I want to go into the settings, I can do that, my notification center. From here, I can start creating a design. We're not going to get to that just now. We're just going to explore the space a little more. Talking about the left navigation over here, I have my home. It is indicating how many people are in my team, and I can of course have multiple people kind of collaborating on the same design. So Canva of course offers that. We have something called Magic Studio. So I think before we kind of uh, go to what Canva does, I think it would be great to kind of get a sneak peek of what Magic Studio does, because this is a feature that I'm just in love with. So I would want you guys to kind of go through this very short video. I'm gonna play it now. So this was a very overwhelming video that we just saw. I mean, so many features and just everything AI powered. This is just a great age to be alive in. We're not gonna cover Magic Studio today because we need to take baby steps for this. But all right. Apart from this, I think we have some projects. Basically, the projects are to categorize the work that you have done. You can have some of the, if you have liked some designs, you can just mark them as stars, and they are going to show up here. And any work that you have uploaded, all of that will be here. You can create folders to maintain sanity in the designs that you are working on. Apart from this, you of course have templates for business, social media, education, video marketing, print products, cards and invitations. You have photos and icons, all of that. And this brand feature is something that is available for pro member. Basically, you can upload all of your brand assets, the color library that you're using, the typography that you use, and if there are any particular background elements that your company or the brand is using, all of that can be uploaded over here, so that the changes in the design that you work on, be it a template or your custom design, is easier and faster. Then there are some applications that Canva offers to kind of help you, work on whatever design you're working on faster and in a more efficient way. For example, Jiffy, of course, Colorize, and it has an integration with Dolly. And okay, apart from this, they have a lot many varieties of mockups, which is again a great feature to have. I don't need to switch between multiple sites like FreePic or Smart Mockup in order to find a mockup that fits my design or is able to represent it better. Right. Okay. Now we have our primary home screen in which it's asking me what will you design today. I can either select a custom size, or I can upload an asset, and or I can just quickly search for something. Now it has given me a lot of shortcuts. For example, for you, it has play with Canva, docs, whiteboarding, presentation, videos, and just so many things. Then when I click on doc, it's telling me that there are so many templates that it has when it comes to docs, whiteboards, presentations. Again, just a plethora of information of designs that I can, they can start working from. Then it has just so many templates, right? Same for videos, print products, websites, and of course there are more like infographic, photo collage, desktop wallpaper, graphs, book covers, mind maps, just you name it, and I'm sure Canva has it. So what we're gonna do is we are gonna create a design for Instagram post, square. So the one good thing about Canva, among so many other good things that it has, is that Instagram does not really, Canva does not really make you remember the dimensions, right? For example, if I talk about Instagram, it is gonna give me the dimensions uh, as the industry standards are. For example, if I have to create a design for a reel ad, it's gonna give me the dimension that is required to post a reel ad, right? Feed ad. If I have to create a profile picture, it's gonna give me the exact dimensions for that. So all I need to remember is what dimension or what size am I going to be creating the design for. And when I say size, I don't really mean the dimensions 320 by 320 pixel. No, the placement it's going to have, if it's going to be a profile picture, or is it going to be a reel cover, or a story, or just something like that. So I just need to remember that, because guys, it is very important, especially for a graphic designer. If you are creating a design that has to go on multiple platforms. For example, there is a different dimension for Instagram, and then there is a different dimension for a LinkedIn post, right? So before we start creating a design, it is very important to kind of understand that what all dimensions am I going to be creating the design for. If I'm creating it for a LinkedIn post, it is going to be mostly square. But if I have to upload the same design on an Instagram story, for a reel or a story, then I know for a fact that the dimensions are going to be drastically different from each other. My design will have to move a lot to accommodate the new design setup. So, of course, that is something that we need to keep in mind when we create our designs, because if we are using some elements, if we are using an image that is in the square shape, then we won't really be able to use it for our Instagram story, right? Because we cannot really stretch the image, and it cannot really be stretched out so big in the right scale, but it cannot really take up the entire space on your story, right? Because that is what is gonna end up happening if we use the same asset. So just something that we need to keep in mind when we create something on Canva, or just any graphical element in general, that you need to be aware of the future scope of where this design can be implemented. Okay, we are gonna start with creating an Instagram post. uh, okay, I am gonna start with the tour first for you guys. Starting with the template. So basically, the left panel has design, elements, text, brand, uploads, draw, project, and applications. Okay, so the primary things that you need to concern yourself with in this session for today is the design, the elements, and the uploads if needed. Okay, so starting with design, we have we have templates, and then we have styles, right? And then we have a search bar. So this really cool thing that Canva has done is, wherever you see a search bar with 2 stars, that means that search is AI powered, right? So if I asked, if I give a prompt, wait, I'm gonna hold myself back for a second. We're gonna do that later on. Let's just move on with the tour. For the first design section, we have templates. Templates are fully customizable. Drag one onto the canvas to start. We're gonna go to the second one is adding text. Great. Upload your own images. Okay. I think that is about it. So basically, when we talk about templates, it has so many options to give me, and just it's just crazy amount of design that is here. But even if I don't find something that fits my design perfectly, I can just use that element and in one way or another. For example, I really like this background for this, but the content that I want to put is not supposed to be so minimal. And you can, I mean, this is like, very minimal, very to the point, right? But the content that I want to keep is supposed to be something, maybe time to explore Japan. I can work on multiple templates, right? There is no stopping to what I need to make. I mean, it is just my imagination that is stopping me at this point. So, of course, I will need to, if I'm using multiple templates, it is very important to kind of understand that every template will have its own design layout. For example, if I talk about these two templates, the luxury house and your shop name, I do like this layout of three leaves type of design. I do want to put it over here, but I do need to keep in mind, be mindful of the fact that the edges on the square that I see here are all sharp, whereas the design that I see over here has only two sharp edges, right? So in order to blend this design with this design, I will need to curve two edges in this design, right? I hope this makes sense, guys. I'm gonna just quickly head to the comment section to see if you guys have any queries. Uh, okay, just a second. Uh, Yeah, pro membership, but the system is not allowing you to use a pro template. So there are three type of templates on Canva. One is, of course, free. Another one is pro, and then there are some templates that are paid. Right? You have to pay separately to use them, and I think you should just talk to the support chat for that. Okay. Right. How to download Canva? I think you can just go to canva.com, and as I showed earlier, that there was a button. Let me just head to Canva really quickly. You can just click on this button on top. It will help you download the right, right. Okay, okay. Uh, Great. I think everybody is on the same page. Don't really have a lot of questions, which is great. We are gonna head to creating a design. So I was in the process of creating an Instagram post, 1080 by 1080. And all right. So, okay, this is my space. I would ideally want to not start with a template because we would want to be able to create something from scratch before we, start using shortcuts for that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to File, Settings, and I'm gonna click on Show Margins. So basically, it is gonna notify me that this is my safe space, that whatever random element could come here, this as long as my content, my core messaging is inside this layout. I hope you guys can see the separator. There is a primary purple line, and then there is a dotted dashed gray line inside my white space. This is kind of denoting that this is my space that I can create whatever, and this is my margin. Right. I am also gonna click on show rulers and guides just to give you an idea. If I need symmetry in my design in any sort of way, if I need to be able to, fit my design in any particular shape. For example, if I want to create a box maybe on this side and maybe also on this side. So these rulers are, great help in that manner. And if you just want to remove them, click on them, drag them out of your canvas, right? They're gone. Okay, right. So this is my workspace. I am gonna remove the rulers for now because I just need the margin. And okay, moving back to the design part, I don't need the templates. I don't really want to look into the styles as of now because we're gonna come to that later on. I am, however, gonna go to the elements and just pick up a box, right? I need to establish what I'm going to make, right? So I went to elements, I clicked on the recently used. I can also click on, so they have shapes, graphics, AI image generators, stickers, photos, videos, audios, charts, just all sorts of assets that you might need in order to create a design, right? So I'm gonna just simply click on see all, and of course it's gonna supply me with all sorts of shapes that I can think of, right? Okay. I'm gonna go to my canvas. I am gonna click on this. I am gonna pull the side handles, and I have clicked alt so that it is letting me expand the shape equally in both sides. Now once I have selected any particular element, a navigation on the top is gonna show up, right? It's gonna help me change the shape from here. I can change the color. I can add some sort of margin to it if I want. There is a solid line dashed, and the intensity of the dashes increases. I can change the border width. I can curve the corners for this. All of that can be done. And of course, if I want to add any particular text inside this, I can just simply click on the insides of the element, double click, and the text is here, right? So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just copy the text that is here, and I'm going to go to this part which lets me select the fonts, right? If I had added a brand kit from my homepage, the fonts would be showing here, but because I haven't, I am gonna go through all the fonts that there are. And of course, guys, bear in mind there are a lot of fonts that you cannot use. They have been marked for the pro plan. So I'm gonna just select Brick Sans for now, increase the text size to this, and of course some indentations. And if I want to have a list view, letter spacing, line spacing, if I want to have any vertical alignment or padding, if I want to put an animation in it. So all of this I think we can tackle in the next session, but as of now this is how the elements work, right? uh, okay, so now we start working on a post, right? So we need to kind of create um a simple post around maybe a fashion brand which is launching their new collection. So I'm gonna just click on notes and write down what we are trying to make. So we need to create uh, an Instagram post for an up and coming fashion brand talking about their launch, right? So this is the use case for my post that I want to make. Okay, I think this is sorted. Now what we're gonna do is we are going to go back to the canvas, and actually we're gonna head to the uh, color palette that we had selected. Oh god, this is not a good color palette, but okay, I think this just gives us a challenge. So what I'm going to do is I'm just gonna create a shape. I'm gonna go to elements. I'm gonna reuse this. I'm gonna primarily add the colors that I want to use. For example, I'm gonna create a color palette. I am gonna, so when I click on the color palette, I add, because I want to replace this color, I copy the hex code that I had gotten from this site. I'm gonna copy this as well. I'm gonna add one more color. I'll also add the rest of the 3 colors. Okay, it is limiting me to use more than 3 colors. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna use this color. Okay, and this color, right? Okay, maybe I'll just keep on copying the assets. Right. So, guys, when we talk about creating a design for maybe digital or print media, it is always good to kind of envision what you are going to make. For example, I need to create a poster, again, referring to my notes, creating an Instagram post for an up and coming fashion brand talking about their launch. So, what are the key takeaways when we go through this brief that has been given to us? It's a fashion brand and they are launching their product line, right? Or they're launching their brands. So these are my two driving forces when I talk about this design, right? So keeping that in mind, I need to be able to kind of create a wireframe of whatever design that I'm trying to make over here, right? So how are we gonna do that? I am just gonna quickly head to text. I'm gonna add a heading. And so again, you don't really need to be a content writer to kind of, write the copy. For example, I want to write something like brace yourself for this launch. For not this launch, maybe the launch, right? Maybe this is the messaging that I want to go ahead with. I am gonna just place it over here, and then so I have kind of established that there is gonna be a launch that is happening, right? Now, in order to kind of establish hierarchy, because all of this looks the same. Now, to establish hierarchy, I want to be able to differentiate between all of this and this, because the launch word in itself is my primary element, right? Again, the one of the rules or guidelines that we talked about when we talked about design principles is emphasis. How do I create emphasis in the design? Is by separating this word visually through the rest of the design elements, through the rest of the text, right? I'm gonna make it 40. Let me see if I can just make this text 80. No, I did something wrong, right? I'm gonna click on this and click on 80. Okay, it's not letting me change just one element. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this element. What did I do? I clicked on Shift and Alt, right? And for people using Mac, Shift and Option, right? So I can just replicate it. So when I click on Alt, it is just replicating a design. It is creating a duplicate of it. But when I click on Shift and Alt or Shift and Option, it kind of moves the design to a single line. to a straight line. It could be vertical, it could be horizontal, right? So that is what I did. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly change the layout of this. Brace yourself for the, and I'm going to put launch in a different line, right? I just copy pasted it and I want to maybe keep launch in bold, LAUNCH. Okay, what happened here? I'm having such a difficult time typing today. Brace yourself for the launch. Okay, so now I see that there is no clear distinguish between the two text sizes. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna increase it maybe to 80 just to see what it looks like. Launch. Yeah, okay, this looks good. And the top part of this is bold. I don't want it to be bold because I want more and more focus on the word launch, right? So, but it still does not really feel like, it kind of, it's not merging together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this layer. I am going to go over here and increase the letter spacing a little bit, right? So now this looks like this is in harmony, right? Okay. Uh, all right. So brace yourself for the launch. Now, because these two texts, I mean, they're like similar in size, so maybe I don't really want to put them in the left alignment. Maybe I want to put them somewhere in the center of it. Maybe I'll see. Now, this is too empty. What is my secondary action over here? Fashion brand. So how do I establish that whatever I'm making, I am making it for a fashion brand, right? So in order to do that, I go to pixels.com. They have free stock photos, royalty free. So I'm gonna just fashion. I'm just gonna quickly check this. I'm gonna go through a couple of images just to find something that I like related to fashion. Okay, I think this looks good. But again, guys, bear in mind that this, what I'm downloading right now, maybe it's not ideal for Instagram because of the dimensions, or maybe it is. It is ideal for a post, maybe Instagram reel or something. But I'm gonna just give this a chance just to see if I can create a variation of this later on. So I have downloaded that image from a different site. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go on uploads and I am gonna upload a file. It's gonna ask me to upload the file. I do that. I love this animation that it does. This spilling or okay. Great. So the upload is done. I'm gonna drag this image and I'm going to add it to the design, right? So as you can see that I want the elements in the image to be a little down so I can maybe position my text on the top left side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on edit photo and crop and then move the image down a little, right? So I'm gonna do that. I have a lot many options over here. I can select an aspect ratio, or I can just crop the file freely. I can also adjust the temperature, the tint or something if I want to do that. Let's not get into it because it's again a slippery slope, I think. But oh, this looks nice. Okay, I think I'm gonna do some changes now that I have started. Okay, I think, yep, this looks nice. But I'm doing all of this. I did forget that we do have some brand guidelines that we need to kind of, pay attention to. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to put the content over here, maybe decrease it a little bit because I don't want it to overlap with the imagery, and I don't want it to kind of like get blended with that. So I'm coming back to the colors of the text. I have wait, before we go there, I just kind of want to see because this typography looks a little too basic for a fashion brand, right? So maybe I can just explore some font combinations that are already here. I really like this one, but it is pro. So I'm going to use something or look for something that is free. For example, okay, I think I like this one. Maybe I can just use this left aligned. I spent so much time working on the typography and now I'm selecting something else. That's okay. This happens all the time. Okay, brace yourself for the launch. Right. Okay, so this is the layout that I'm gonna go with. So guys, it is also good to kind of group the layers that you're working on, because it helps you navigate the designs freely. Now I'm having difficulty aligning these two images to text fields. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select both of them, right click, align, left align, right? Easy. I'm going to just change the color to white very quickly for readability, and maybe change this font. I don't really like this font. I think, yeah, this is a good choice. Instead of that, maybe I can put it here. Right. So now I have multiple layers, right? I have my image, I have my two text fields. So I do want to start managing my layers before I end up with too many assets, and it's difficult to kind of, navigate through all of that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on Alt 1, and it opens up my layer panel, and I can just kind of lock this particular image from over here, right? But I don't want to do that just yet. I kind of want to see if I can get more space in this particular image, right? I expanded the image a little bit so that it gives me more breathing space on the left side, right? Okay, opening up the layers panel again, I am gonna lock this image now, and this background as well. I think I can't really lock the background, that's fine. So brace yourself for the launch, right? I have put this information now. I need to be able to use my brand colors somehow, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try a couple of variation. Oh my god, these are just very bad colors that I have selected. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to maybe play around with the image some more, because this color is not looking very good with the slightly darker theme, darker tone of the image, right? So what I'm going to do is I am going to go and adjust the photo. I'm gonna maybe increase the brightness. I'm gonna maybe decrease some contrast or something. Some sort of combination which kind of lets me uh, use this combination. Or maybe what I can do is kind of look for an image that goes well with this particular color, and maybe a shade of cyan and red. So, okay, we go back to image hunting. I think this might look good. I'm not sure. Let's check it out. So again, guys, when we start creating something like this, it is always a hassle to come up with the right elements to understand what my core messaging should be. So when we get into that phase, I think it's okay to kind of take your time and try out a couple of variations. And okay, I think another mistake that I made here is that I went for an image that is a little similar in the shade, but it's okay, I can always adjust it. I am gonna edit this photo now. Maybe I can try something lighter, or maybe a little vintage. right? I think this is coming out nicely, or even a black and white asset might work. Yeah, yeah. So the lighter I keep the background, the more impactful my content will be. I'm gonna just make it left aligned. And so what I'm going to do now is not use the cyan color that I have. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna work with another color from the kit, right? So I'm gonna brace yourself for the launch. Okay, this does not look good either, but it is a brand color, so I'm gonna kind of stick with that, right? Okay, I'm gonna change. Da, 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 da. Okay, making this change, and I think I'm gonna move this color to be a bit darker, and there is an effect added to it. I'm gonna just remove that so that there is no drop shadow around it, right? I also need a logo, so I'm gonna go for red cyan logo and just use something, maybe this as my logo. I'm gonna upload another asset. Did it not save image? Downloads. Right, this has been uploaded now. I click on it. This is the image that I want. This is my logo, right? So again, guys, the margin that we talked about is just a suggestion. We don't really need to. I mean, of course, if Instagram is giving us this much space, it is, we are going to get all of the space. So no images are going to be cropped, but we can, work around the guidelines later on. So, okay, so this is the core messaging. This is the main action that is happening. Now I kind of want to, this looks a little too empty right now. So what I want to do is maybe add some elements around it. So I'm gonna go back to my elements. I'm gonna click on the square again. I'm gonna fit it to the margin, and I'm gonna add some border to it, right? I'm gonna maybe add 8, and it's gonna be black, and maybe make it transparent, right? So why I did this, because the margin, this kind of intrigued me and I wanted to see what this looks like, right? So what I'm going to do is open up my layer panel again. I'm gonna move this to maybe behind the image, but okay, it can't really go behind the image because it has a background. That's okay. I'm gonna go back to elements. I'm gonna go to shapes. Do I like something from here? No. I'm gonna go to graphics, and then I'm gonna see if there is something that I might like. So for example, monoline elements, vivid graphics, or some sort of, let's see what magic recommendation has. Maybe I can put something like this to kind of, because the design that I had created for the image is a little retro, and polka dots are, of course, retro. So maybe I create a couple of this, add a few elements around the word launch, maybe. And this is where I can use this color, but then again, this color is a little too light. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna move back to the red color, right? And maybe place it in a way that it's not really hindering the design, but at the same time, it is adding value to the content, right? So, okay, now I have some space over here, and maybe I can just put the design, put the logo on top of it, right? Okay, guys, I would quickly want you guys to contribute to this design. I'm gonna just leave it here, and in the link that you might see in the description, we have a Notion file attached to it. What I'm going to do is I am going to leave a link for this particular file. It would be great if you guys can work on this on your accounts and show me what you have contributed. So as of now, this design looks very basic, right? It does not really look very eye-catching. I mean, like, if you were supposed to purchase something from this brand, you probably might not, because the ad is not very impactful. So what I want you all to do is go to the link, take out this reference, and create a version of this that we can discuss on tomorrow, right? So it has to be a collaborative work. It does not necessarily mean that everything that I'm making has to be, 100% perfect or bulletproof. No, we are going to work on the designs together. We are going to learn the tools together, and you can just keep on referring to the session today, and just work on whatever tools, whatever features that we have discussed about Canva, and yeah, come up with a design of your own. You can take these elements, or you can just pick up the notes that I have created over here and just make something that you think is, of course, better than this, right? Heading on to the comment section one last time for today. Okay. Hmm. Does it charge any copyright for using others' template and selling it digitally? Yeah, right. So you cannot really sell these templates that you're making unless you have a pro plan. Again, I am not sure if that is 100% legit, but it is, I think, for your personal use. But again, refer to the FAQ section to get more clarity, right? Okay. All right. Da, 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 da. Social media posts. Yes, yes, yes. We are gonna do that. You use normal Canva but cannot download photos. Yes. Okay. Quickly. So when we come to the share button and go to downloads, and we can select our file type. It can be JPEG, PNG, PDF, MP4 videos, or a GIF. I'm gonna just suggest PNG. I'm gonna download it, and it does let me download the assets as long as I'm not using any element that is not free. For example, if this typography was in the pro plan and I have used it in my design, it's not gonna let me download that. Okay. Right. All right. I think okay, when I try to design something from zero, my brain gets blank. So, okay, that is why you don't need to create something from scratch. I mean, that is, one of the main driving forces behind Canva is that you can take references from the templates. So, I understand that it is important to kind of make something that is unique. It is good for our, self worth, but you will get there eventually, and meanwhile you can just kind of take help from the many references that Canva has to offer. And apart from Canva, there are sites like Dribble, Behance, Pinterest, and Figma community, so you can just head on to some of those. uh, right. Design templates, again, refer to Canva. They have so much more to offer, right? All right. I think we are good for today's session. Name of websites for free stock images. So you can refer to Pexels, Unsplash, and FreePic even. But I think in FreePic you need to mention that you have downloaded the image from FreePic. And of course, then we also have Canva that offers a lot of free stock images. So you can refer to those. All right. Thank you so much for today's session, guys. It was great. I hope to interact with you tomorrow as well. We will add the link to the Canva file in the Notion link, and you guys can refer to that link to kind of create your own version around it. You can take references from the templates, or if not, you can just create something of your own, and that is again great either ways. And just be prepared to share the work that you have done today on the template, and we can share it with everybody. Okay, how to mark attendance. Yeah, you can head on to the YouTube videos description, and you will see a section to in the description itself to attendance, and you can just mark it from there. All right. Thank you for today's session, guys. You've been great. I will see you all tomorrow. Thank you. Bye.
Hi guys, good evening. I believe my voice is audible to everyone. So yeah, this is Shreya here from Let's Upgrade team. So Sandesh is occupied with some very important work, so that is the reason he has asked me to help you all with the attendance and certification procedure. So give me a minute, I'll just share my screen. Guys, please uh, put a message on chat saying that whether my screen is visible or not. I believe it's visible, right? Okay, so can you see the this description box over here? Once you'll scroll down, you'll see the description box over here, and you'll see that there are various links. Okay, so you'll see various links are there. That is for registration, attendance, assignments, LU coins, and certificates. So now, if you'll just notice carefully, all the links are same only. It's the same link, and we have only referred it multiple times so that you guys don't get confused. So that is the reason we have mentioned it differently. So for the attendance, I'll just click on this link. Okay. So once I'll click on this link, I will be redirected to this page. Now just scroll down. Can you see the date over here? Date, time, and day one. So basically, this is today's session. Again, you can see the upcoming sessions for the next 2 days also. That is 26th April and 27th April. So now if I'll talk about today's class, over here, can you see a tab that is attendance marked? So for me, it's showing attendance marked because I have already marked my attendance. So, but in your case, there will be a tab known as mark attendance. So you just need to click on that mark attendance tab. Once you click on that mark attendance tab, or you'll be redirected to a different page. So there, you just need to rate the today's session, like whatever rate you want to give on the scale of 1 to 10, whatever points you want to give. So you just need to rate today's class, and if any suggestions or any improvements, if you want any suggestions you want to give, so you can put up your suggestion over there, and once you'll submit, your attendance will be marked, and same thing will be notified to you over WhatsApp also that we have received your attendance and it is submitted. Now for every day you need to repeat the same procedure. For tomorrow also you'll get the mark attendance tab over here, and for the next class also. So once you'll keep on marking your attendance, you'll see that your progress bar is increasing. So it will keep on increasing. Earlier it was 0 for me. When I have marked today's attendance, my progress bar is 33.33%. So likewise it will keep on increasing every day. So like on the third day, that is on 27th of April, when I'll mark my final attendance, the progress bar will be completed. And then this over here, download certificate option will be there. So from there, you just need to click on that download certificate and you'll be able to get your certificate. But make sure that you mark your attendance for all the sessions in order to get the certificates. And guys who haven't enrolled or who haven't signed up for our website, you guys need to sign up first, and then only you'll get this mark attendance option. So make sure that if you haven't signed up or registered for the program, you do register first. And the second one is all-in-one documentation link. So this link is basically, if you want, suppose if you want the notes and all the procedure that I have explained right now, each and everything is mentioned in detail over there. So you just need to click on this link. Suppose I have clicked on this link, and then once you'll click on this link, you will be redirected to a Notion page. So here, if you'll scroll down, you can see that all the things are mentioned over here, everything. So just scroll down. Suppose if you want the notes of all the 3 days, so I'll just click on the notes. So here you can get the notes of day 1, day 2, and likewise day 3. So all days notes I'll get from here. Same way, suppose if you want to know the steps, whatever steps I've explained so far. So you can just click over here and all the steps are mentioned over here. So suppose if you are not getting anything or if you are stuck anywhere, you can just refer this Notion document. Each and everything is mentioned over here. Again, one thing I have told you about is download certificate. So this is download certificate. This is how it will look. So this is the option you will get only once your progress bar is like it. You have marked the attendance for all 3 days and it is completed. So then only you will get the option to mark the to download your certificate. Guys, I hope everything is clear. Can you guys just confirm, like, whatever things I've explained so far, is it clear or not? Okay, so no one is saying anything, so I'm assuming that everything is clear to you all. Okay, guys, thank you so much. Thank you so much for attending today's session. See you all in tomorrow's class. Thank you so much. Good night. Bye.